this recipe, we'll be cooking an appetizer called crispy curry chicken wonton bites. The ingredients that we need are: first, potato, carrots, oregano, green onion, curry powder, garlic, onion, spring roll wrapper, egg, ground chicken, cooking wine, salt, sugar, and water. Now, let's start cooking. First, add a teaspoon of oil into a hot pan. Spread evenly. Next, we add our onion. Stir slightly before adding your garlic. Stir evenly to cook the onion and garlic well. After sauteing our onion and garlic, we can now add our carrot. Slightly stir, then we add our potato. And then we stir to mix the vegetables all together. Make a hole at the center of the pan to make space for the ground chicken. We need to cook it until the juices of the vegetable and the chicken comes out. After letting it juice out, we can now add our curry powder. Mix thoroughly to have an even spread of flavor. After mixing thoroughly, we can now add our salt and sugar. Mix well. Now, let's add our oregano together with the green onion. Mix well. Let's simmer till water runs out. Now it's ready to be transferred to a bowl. Our filling is now ready to be wrapped. First, wrap your spring roll wrapper. Brush the two sides with egg wash. Add a spoonful of filling onto the spring roll wrapper. Make sure the filling is at the center of the spring roll wrapper. Now, fold it in half and close its sides. Wrap both ends of the spring roll wrapper. Press it tightly so that we can prevent the mixture from going out. Repeat procedure to your desired number of serving. Preheat oil to a medium temperature. Carefully add each wonton bite to the preheated oil. Wait until it turns slightly golden brown. Put into a strainer and let the oil drip out. After draining the oil, refry it so that we can have a crispier wonton bite. After a few minutes, we can now put it in a strainer and let the oil drip out again. Once done straining, we can now now transfer it to a plate. Here is our final product. This appetizer will help proliferate your hunger and prepare you for the main course, as it has a strong flavor coordinated to the main dish we will serve in our full course meal.
Today, we are to prepare an appetizer called Calabash with salted egg dip platter. So the first thing that we need to do is to cut the calabash or upo into thin portions so it cooks quickly and evenly without burning. After cutting the calabash into rounds, insert the cutter into the center of the calabash and twist to cut out the form you desire. For the coating, we are to prepare a cup of flour, 1 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs, and 3 pieces of eggs. Gently whisk and season it with salt and black pepper. Dip the calabash into egg, salt, and pepper mixture, then coat it with flour and breadcrumbs. Preheat the pan between 350 and 375 degrees Fahrenheit and pour 3 cups of vegetable oil into the pan. Deep fry the calabash. Fry until the pieces reach that beautiful golden brown. Remove from the oil and place on a paper towel. Let them rest for at least 10 minutes before serving. For the salted egg dip, we need first to remove the salted egg's shell and chop it into tiny pieces. After washing and drying the green and red bell peppers, cut them into tiny pieces as well. We also need to prepare a cup of all-purpose cream to add sweetness to the dip. Blend the salted egg, green and red bell peppers well in a blender or food processor. After mixing, sauté the combined salted egg, green and red bell peppers in a heated pan with butter. When finished, add 1 cup of all-purpose cream and gently stir until thoroughly combined. Season it with salt and pepper to taste. Arrange onto serving platter and enjoy.
So what's up guys, this is my personal twist of the chicken pastel. turning it into a kind of creamy but also cheesy soup. I hope you guys like it. For our ingredients, we have 1/4 chicken breast, 2 pieces medium carrots, 2 pieces medium potato, green bell pepper, 1 medium broccoli, all-purpose cream, 100 ml of evaporated milk, 1/4 cup of sliced butter, minced garlic, small red chopped onions, salt and food seasoning to taste, kernel corn, and a cup of chicken broth from the chicken breast that we boiled, and that's all. Now I boil our 1/4 chicken breast, boil it in some salt, and leave it to cool. Once it's cooled down, I'll be using 2 forks to shred the chicken. Some can use knives, others can use choppers, whatever you like. Next up, we put some butter in a deep skillet, followed by our garlic, then our onions. When that's done, try to mix them up a little bit. This will be followed by our potatoes and carrots, then our broccoli and bell peppers. Stir well, then leave it to cook for 10 minutes. Be sure to cut the bell peppers into small pieces or strips. When that's done, we should add our shredded chicken. Mix this for a bit, then again leave it to cook for about 10 minutes. Next is our Nestle all-purpose cream. Pour in about 1/2 cup of this and mix well. Next is our evaporated milk, about 100 ml or 880 ml. Pour it all in and then mix again. Next is our chicken broth from the chicken breast that we boiled earlier. Be sure to mix this all in while pouring the chicken broth. Next will be our seasoning. So we'll put in some salt, pepper, and that basil mix or basil seasoning. Mix this all well, and when it starts to boil, that's when we will add our corn, followed by our shredded cheese. Be sure to add just the right amount, as too much will make the soup more saltier. Mix again. Then serve into a bowl or any bowl you like. This is good for 3 to 4 servings, and I personally like it when the weather is rainy or cold, as I feel like this is the type of soup that really warms the soul. Here's my brother having some for himself. I think he really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys liked it. That's all from me. Thanks.
Hey guys, so today we're gonna make chicken roulade with bechamel sauce. Come on, let's get cooking. The ingredients for this dish is fresh milk, cheese, butter, pepper, egg wash, 2 pieces of chicken breast, salt, and we got breadcrumbs, flour, spinach, and that's basically it. The first thing that we are going to do is we're going to slice the chicken breast into a butterfly form. Season the chicken with salt and pepper generously. Turn it around and do the same thing. Before we slice the spinach, cut off the stems below and roll it and slice thinly. Stuff the sliced chicken with the right amount of spinach and 2 slices of cheese and roll. Roll the chicken tightly so that the filling won't fall off. In another chicken, do the same thing. Fill it with the right amount of spinach, 2 slices of cheese, and roll it tightly. After rolling the chicken, place it in an ice water wrapper in order to hold its shape. Make sure to close the wrapper very tightly. In a boiling hot pan, place the wrapped chicken inside for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, turn off the pan and remove the chicken and place it in a bowl with warm water. Do not forget to remove the chicken out of the wrapper. Now we are going to start coating the chicken with flour. Make sure to pat off any excess and dip it in the egg wash. Lastly, we're going to coat it with breadcrumbs. Do the same thing with the other chicken. All that's left is refry these bad boys. In a preheated pan filled with the cooking oil, fry the chicken until it's golden brown and crisp on the outside. Cook each side for 5 minutes. If the chicken has the right color, place it in a plate and set aside and let it rest. Now it's time to make our bechamel sauce. We melt 2 slices of butter in a preheated pan. After the butter has melted, put 2 tablespoons of flour as it starts to create a roux. Add 1 tablespoon of fresh milk. And gradually pour a half cup of water until you achieve your desired consistency of the sauce. Season the sauce with salt and pepper to taste. Always add more water if the sauce is still too thick. Sauce done. Let's get plating. Now we're going to slice the chicken roulade. Remember to always slice it not too thinly and not too thickly. Pour the bechamel sauce on the top. And for the final step, we are going to garnish with green onions. And here is our dish, chicken roulade with bechamel sauce. Enjoy! Oh, kamusta naman yung chicken roulade?
Sakto lang yung lasa at malinamnam siya. Lasang-lasa yung keso sa loob, tapos masarap din yung pagkaluto ng sauce.
Oh, ma, kamusta naman yung chicken roulade?
Masarap. Tama lang yung pagkaluto.
Hi guys! Tuturuan ko kayo paano magluto ng fried creamy beef with mushroom. Ayan, first step, mag-iwa tayo ng beef. Pero dapat malinis ang kamay bago natin hawak-hawakan yung karne. And then, pangalawang step, maglagay tayo ng toyo para ma-marinate natin yung beef. Depende yan sa'yo kung gaano kakatuyuin bilang isang jowa. Char. Next, pudburan mo naman ng paminta. Gusto ko madami, kaya medyo madami yung nilagay ko. Depende na rin yan sa'yo. Tansyahan lang yan, guys. 1 teaspoon of sugar. Maghihiwa ka rin ng calamansi para may asim effect. Ayan, i-strain mo lang para matanggal yung buto-buto. Okay, ang tagal. tagal. Grabe. Ayan, next is i-marinate mo. Malinis yung kamay ko dyan guys, kaya hinawak-hawakan ko na. Syempre, kailangan natin maghugas, you know. And then, ganyan siya. Charan! Mag-wait muna ng 1 hour. Ayan, after 1 hour, pwede natin siyang prituhin. Shhh! Ganarn! Ayan. I-deep fry natin siya, guys. Pero hindi naman masyadong madaming mantika. Yung ganyan lang ba? Ayan. Prito-prito. Pag medyo okay na siya, pag medyo nag-dark na, ayan, pwede nating igisa yung bawang. Itagilid lang ng onti yung baka. Yung natirang mantika doon din magigisa. And then, sibuyas. Chararan. Guys, ang bango niyan, promise. Gisa-gisa lang, guys. And then yun, naglagay ako ng 2 cups ng tubig para pakuluan and mas lalo pang lumambot yung baka. And then naglagay ako ng asin. Kasi pang palasa yan guys. And asukal. And kapag kumulo na, pag medyo luto na, ilalagay na natin yung mushroom. Charan! Naglagay ulit tayo ng water. Ayan. Nilagay na rin yung cream. Chararan! Pero wag mo ilagay yung buong pack. Half lang siya. And then, tamang lang, halo-halo. Ayan. Para malasahan natin. Magiging ganyan siya after a while. And then, ayan. Halo lang. And then, charan! Pwede nang ulamin. Kanin na lang ang kulang. Eme-eme lang din yung onions na nasa taas. Pang design nyo lang. Bye!
Pork lengua sisig recipe. So these are the ingredients that I used. Actually, the first step starts by boiling pork tongue until it's tender. And these are then grilled for a few minutes until it browns and develops a good texture. But then I wasn't able to shoot the boiling and grilling part. So here goes me chopping the ready to cook pork tongue. So I chopped the meat into small pieces after grilling. And then here are the chopped parts. I then added about 5 tablespoons of cooking oil and preheated it. I started cooking the sisig by sauteing chopped garlic, onion, and ginger. I cooked it thoroughly. Note that the ginger is an optional ingredient for this sisig version. I added it to reduce the gumminess of the pork tongue, so feel free to use it based on your preference. I then added the minced meat. Make sure to blend all the ingredients together. This will balance the flavor of the dish. So here, what I'm doing was really mixing it well so that the flavors would blend evenly and thoroughly. And then I added the seasonings and spices afterwards. I added a bit of salt to add some flavor. And then magic setup for all-in-one seasoning. You have the option to use a metal plate to serve the dish. This can also be served on a regular plate. So here I use the one that is typical when serving sisig, the one that sizzles. And then I added mayonnaise for this version, and this is how it looks like. After that, I mix it well to make sure the flavors blend evenly. Next, I added 2 pieces of calamansi to balance the flavors. I also chopped siling mahaba to garnish the sisig and add a bit of flavor. So this is how it looks like. And then I topped it off with an egg. Well, this is optional. And that's all for an easy to do pork lengua sisig recipe.
Making squash macchiato. The ingredients needed are raw squash, pure cold milk, water, sugar, coffee powder, and crushed chocolate cereal flakes. The squash should be cut into cubes and cooled in the fridge together with the milk. Blender the cold squash and milk together. You could also put ice as alternative to keep the temperature. If you have achieved your preferred milkshake consistency, you could set it aside to make the coffee mix. Mix the water, sugar, and coffee in a container. Transfer the smoothie to a glass. Slowly pour the coffee mix into the smoothie. The coffee would sink due to higher temperature while creating a gradient effect at the bottom of the glass. Decorate the surface of the drink with the crushed chocolate cereal.
Palitaw de Yema, let me show you how I made it. Here are the ingredients I used for this dessert. I have here eggs, water, vanilla extract, sesame seeds, condensed milk, glutinous flour with sugar, and lastly, desiccated coconut. I started making the yema first, so I cracked 4 eggs but used only their yolks. I directly placed them in a pan but didn't turn on the fire yet. I stirred the egg first, poured in the condensed milk, and stirred while adding such to ensure proper distribution and mixture of ingredients. I then added 1 and 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract and of course stirred it as well. After doing such, I placed the mixture on fire and stirred it non-stop until I got the consistency I was looking for. And after more stirring, finally the yema's done. I set it aside for the meantime and moved on to the next steps. So in a bowl, I placed 1 pack of flour, added 4 tablespoons of sugar, and mixed it well before adding water. 2 cups of water was added gradually, and again we need to stir this. Just mix and stir. As a result, the flour mixed well with the water and produced a nice texture as well as a soft and pliable consistency. Next, I scooped out a small portion of the dough, used the palm of my hands to roll such portion, and flattened it out into a circular shape. For an ordinary palitaw, you can just stop there, but since this isn't your ordinary palitaw, we'll scoop out a small portion of the yema as well, place it inside, roll it out to make a not so perfect but a beautiful ball of dough stuffed with yema. And then we'll just keep on repeating these steps until we run out of dough. After which, I boiled some water to cook these balls of dough, and as this dessert's name palitaw suggests, these balls of dough will rise or litaw to the surface of the water when done. So as you can see, after some time of waiting, look at those balls rising and floating on the surface. I scooped these cooked balls out and rolled this in the grated coconut and set it aside first. I then roasted some sesame seeds and added sugar. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 teaspoons of sugar. And this mixture was sprinkled on top of the balls as a finishing touch of our dessert. So there you have it, we're finally done with our Palitaw de Yema.
Promise.
Kumusta?